Hi. How's it going? Howdy, patrons. How's it going? This is a special message, a little special thing I wanted to do just for you. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, just some kind of, keeping it real with the patrons kind of thing, real talk, boys talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know what I'm saying. I never know. Also, I don't really know what I'm saying, come to think of it. I didn't plan this out. If you plan it out, then you start overthinking it and overplanning it, and then you don't know what the fuck to say anyway. So either way, you gotta end up winging it in some way or another. You know what I'm saying? I know I look like a fucking old-timey prisoner here in my 1950s dad pajamas. The full body pajama suit that you've only ever seen guys wear on TV. And you always watch it and you think, what is that? Nobody actually wears that. Well, apparently I do now. I'm okay with this development. Of all the recent developments, this is the one I'm okay with. Jesus. What the fuck? Hey. Hey, come over here. Hey. Get out of there. Get out of the fireplace. You're gonna get all sooty. There's too much soot in there. You're gonna get soot on your foot. Come here. Come here to me. Come here, not behind me. To me. God. Ah, that rambunctious youth. My out of control child. Ah, what'll I do with her? In my last post, I said something at the end like, I have big plans for 2022. And that was the truth. And I wanted to elaborate on that, and I kind of wanted to talk about those plans. Now I don't know if I'm going to talk about those plans specifically, because I don't know if they're the plans anymore. The best laid plans of mice and men. You know how stuff... Man... Sorry, I'm trying to catch my train of thought here. It's a little difficult with the fucking cat zooming around. These goddamn Zoomers are out of control. Got too much energy. This little Minecraft, little fucking Billie Eilish TikToker zooming back and forth. Making me lose my already somewhat jumbled train of thought. Chugga choo choo. Right off a fucking cliff, I had a lot of plans in place, and I really wanted this next year, this starting year, to be a big year for me. And I don't know, maybe in a weird way I got my wish, just not in the way that I wanted it, Because I got some news just a few days into the new year. I was feeling so good and optimistic about stuff. Just a few days into the new year, I got some news that was, pretty fucking devastating. The kind of devastating where it's like all the plans that you had beforehand are kind of, totally up in the air now because, it's just one of those things that is gonna have to take up a lot of mental bandwidth now for God knows how long, and it's just gonna be a huge fucking pain in the ass and a thing that you're gonna have to deal with. And it just fucking sucks, you know? You know, like you ever get news that sucked that hard that it fucking threatens the whole rest of your year? You know? In fucking January? Has that ever fucking happened? You ever have you know? You ever have that kind of fucking Parker luck? So I don't know, but that seemed like all the more reason I should do what one of these little kind of, you know, uh heart to hearts, I guess, or just kind of updates, just to I don't know, maybe gauge my support, or I don't know if that sounds cynical. Fuck. Ah, sorry, I'm like kind of a mess at the moment. I'm kind of like, you know, I'm not like bouncing off the walls in a zany, like super charismatic, you know, uh, most electrifying man in sports entertainment kind of like, uh, you know, comedy, wacky, silly dude kind of mood, you know? I'm kind of in a whatever this mood is, you know? You ever been in this kind of mood? Can you even like articulate what kind of mood this looks like? Because I don't know. This is you know what this is? This is a show must go on kind of mood. And I don't know. I feel like I've had to become a master of that kind of mood over the years. So you know, maybe like a trying to psych myself up, or trying to brace myself, or uh, what am I trying to say here? I don't even fucking. I mean, you know, Weird Al's parents died while he was on tour. Weird Al Yankovic. There was a terrible accidental tragedy in his parents' house. I think it was like carbon monoxide poisoning, but they both died in their sleep. You know, like a sudden accident. And and when Weird Al found out about it, he performed that night. And and I mean, he kept doing the tour after finding out that both his parents had just croaked at the same time unexpectedly. You know, like died young. And he had a quote. He said something like, "So many people have told me that my comedy helped them out in a dark time over the years that I thought maybe it could help me out in a dark time as well." You know? So that's the kind of mood that this is. I hope I'm not bumming you out. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to keep it real with y'all. Just trying to keep it 100. Just trying to speak to the people. trying to fucking... Ah! God! You hear those bones? You hear those dad bones a cracking and a popping? Oh! Ugh! Ugh! God. That's the kind of stuff my body does now. Oh. Fucking, how am I holding this? What the fuck? God. This is, I don't know what happened just now. That was embarrassing. I couldn't hold the tea right. I had a strong hand for a minute. You know, like a Scary Movie 2 strong hand. Do I have to specify Scary Movie 2? That's such an iconic gag that like that. I mean, the movie itself was successful, but that gag specifically, I feel like if you say to anyone strong hand, they know exactly what you mean. That one really cut to the heart of something, you know? That stood the test of time. The strong hand. I wanted to really evolve my content, I guess you'd call it. I mean, I hate that word, but my art or my work. I really wanted to sort of get back into the habit of making really good, you know, kind of high production, you know, written videos, you know, the stuff that I used to do all the time. But it just became harder over the years for, you know, a lot of different reasons, you know, life reasons and feelings reasons and where I was at the time, you know, physically where I was, mentally where I was, you know what I'm saying? This is all kinds of reasons. It just became harder to consistently want to do that kind of stuff, you know? But there was a lot of what am I fucking talking about? I feel like I'm rambling like some kind of dumb idiot, man, you know? like a dementia patient, you know? Is that what I'm wearing? Is this the old folks home pajamas? It's cursed from the old man who died in it? And so I'm just becoming an old demented man. All that residual ghost dementia is possessing me, and I can't even complete half a thought without trailing off into some recalculous onion story. What the fuck was I even talking about? This is embarrassing. A couple years ago, maybe a few years ago, I mean, it's kind of a blur, the whole length of time. I think it was in early 2019, and it lasted up until really just very recently. But, you know, in early 2019, I made a post on Patreon, just, you know, kind of the last time I did one of these. But it was a written post as an update, and it was just to inform people that, I was recently homeless, or that I had become homeless, you know? And I mean, I delivered this in as tongue-in-cheek a way as possible, because I'm not a guy who likes to, you know, whine about my problems or my personal life online, or even really talk about it at all. I mean, there's a pretty big difference between me, the video guy, and me, the real guy. I mean, not that big a difference, but in a lot of ways, yeah, kinda. You know what I'm saying? And I like that. I don't you know, I like a distance between me and you. I hope that's understandable. So I probably wouldn't have even said that much. I wouldn't have even wanted to mention the homelessness thing at all, were it not for the fact that because it was obviously going to affect the kind of content I could make, I felt that I had to inform the patrons at least. I don't promote the Patreon that much, so maybe not everybody saw it, so maybe not everybody was in the know or could really piece together why the content became different or became less or more sporadic and spaced out or whatever the hell. I mean, I get a lot of people like thinking that I just like died or dropped off the face of the earth, and people find my Patreon like, oh, I didn't even know that you've been making content this whole time. I just didn't want to. I just haven't want to. I don't want to be like a guy who's always shilling myself. I know it probably sounds silly and like absolutely retarded, and like the worst way to fucking do business ever, but I don't know. I'm just kind of like a shy guy, you know what I'm saying? I don't really need a whole lot of attention. Don't really want a whole lot of attention. And I don't want to like come off like I'm begging ever. But, one way or another, homelessness was going to affect my content. And it's not the only thing that affected my content. It's not the only reason I kind of needed a break from being that kind of creator and needed to take a step back from being that guy in that world. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. We'd be here all day if I actually explained what the hell I'm talking about, But I hope that like the feeling at least is being conveyed, because it's a lot. The last however many years, long ass time, it's a lot, There's a lot of very convoluted lore I would have to get through to even give any kind of context for anything else I had to say. So fuck it. I'm just saying, shit's fucked. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows shit's fucked. Basically I was living in that house for a long time with my mom and my sister. And I was, helping my mom live in the house. It wasn't like a living at home situation. I mean, I was the oldest sibling, and I was always like the only man in the family. I kind of felt like responsible for my family. So, I was kind of taking care of them as much as they were taking care of me. It was like a family. My family fucking life, my personal life. I don't like talking about this stuff. All right? I mean, I'm not embarrassed of it. It's just nobody's goddamn business. But you feel like you have to clear the air about some things and talk about, put the facts out in somewhere, or else you get people speculating and making shit up and coming to their own conclusions and just making stuff up about you, just saying stuff and repeating stuff that, no one fucking knows what they're fucking talking about ever. But I was helping my mom and my sister live in that house for a long time. We were, because my sister also was very sick and needed to live with my mom and kind of needed to be taken care of and, kept an eye on, So it was, I felt responsible for my family. So I stuck around in that house and lived with my family for a long time. And I was fine with it because it gave me a little base of operations to start like a little entertainment career and start creating, which is all I've ever wanted to do, is just create and shit and, just make cool stuff. So I was cool with that situation for a while. In the beginning it was great when I first started. In those innocent, naive, perfect old days, and I was just starting out on YouTube, and I was a young, cool, hip guy, and I didn't have a whole lot of subscribers. No one really knew who I was. An unknown creator, finding my voice, doing whatever I wanted, making whatever silly comedy or dumb idea came into my head. Those are really my those are my favorite days to look back on. The best days of my career, really, is those early, like, 2011 to 2013 drowning in footwear days. That's what I really miss. After that, it all fucking started getting weird. And it just kept getting weirder and weirder and weirder. And eventually I had to fucking take a step back from it all, you know? I didn't want to be out there anymore and involved with all this fucking stuff and, you know, this whole, like, clout, social media, like, e-celeb subculture. It's really toxic and gross, and I don't like any of it. It's really fucking makes me sick, and I had to get the fuck out of there, you know, for my own sanity. I had to skedaddle. It was it was halting my development. It was impeding my growth, and it was choking me. It was choking the fucking life out of me. I mean, I was so battered and just beaten down and exhausted and just hurt by the end of it all, you know, by the last couple years of trying to do it and be in the public. I just, man, I needed time to, like, find my smile again. Like, no joke, seriously. like HBK himself, I'm telling you, man. It's no joke. When you lose your smile, he wasn't kidding. He wasn't just pulling your leg. It's no joke. You know, I had to really kind of rebuild myself, kind of find my sense of humor again, or find how it's evolved, or really figure out what I really find funny or what I really value. You know, kind of find my confidence again. You know, kind of, you know, it was a process, and that's kind of where I was mentally. In addition to the simple practical fact that I couldn't really be that because I was fucking homeless. You know, living in hotels and my car for long ass fucking time. I hope this is coherent. I hope any of what I'm saying is making any kind of sense. Because I don't know what the fuck. I'm just kind of speaking from the heart, you know, so I don't really know what's even going to come out. I have no fucking plan here at all. But really, my point is, in a certain span of time, I went through so much trying to exist in that world, so much fucked up shit, and I just, you know, that over time my philosophy really began to shift and really began to differ from my peers, and they weren't great for me to be around after a while either. So, you know. And in addition to that, I was, you know, more burned out than you can imagine. I mean, you know, nowadays I think YouTubers are getting a little smarter, and some of them at least know to just put a video out every once in a while when they feel burnt out and just say, hey, I'm feeling burnt out and I'm taking a break. I mean, you know, my generation of YouTubers that I'm from, I was kind of like the second generation. You know, like the real guinea pigs were the first generation, like the Spoonies and the AVGNs and the Nostalgia Critics, and, you know, so they made all the mistakes, but, and so my generation was kind of the second generation. I was part of the wave, not in terms of popularity, obviously, but in terms of, you know, that time. I was part of the wave of, like, the JonTron, the Game Grumps, Normal Boots generation of YouTubers. You know, like the Razor Fists even. We were all kind of created as an evolution and reaction of what those first generation YouTube pioneers started. And even though they made a bunch of mistakes that we knew not to make, there were still some that we fucking fell into of our own. And so, and part of it is the burnout thing, not knowing when to just say, hey, I can't, enough of this for now. And so I think every generation of YouTubers is getting smarter than the previous one. Because at least now some of the younger guys on YouTube that I watch now, you'll every now and then you'll see them put out a video that's like, hey, man, I'm burnt out as fuck. I gotta take a break, And it usually doesn't last long for any YouTuber to get to that. I mean, it's a hell of a job being a serious professional YouTuber. It'll grind you down like you wouldn't fucking believe, and everybody finds that out, And it hardly takes any time at all of doing it really seriously to get to that point. It wears you down fast. And I was such a goddamn dummy. I never took a break, like ever. I mean, let's say, when was the last time I was really active, like a lot publicly? I mean, probably 2017, which was not a great year for a lot of reasons. But, I mean, that's 2016 is when I really started feeling it. In 2017, everything just got worse. And then so much just fucking went bad. And then 28, that's around, it's like, ugh. By that point, I was just a fucking burnt. I was just a fucking the husk. I was like the Walking Dead, but I was still making even then, even in at my absolute lowest, I was still putting out content regularly. I was still putting out some videos that I thought were really funny and really good. I don't know where I'm getting all over the place here, aren't I? Fuck. My point is, burnt out doesn't even begin to describe it. I was burnt out in 2013 after 2 years of doing drowning in footwear, busting my ass so hard to learn my craft with, making no income off it whatsoever and not really being known. But I mean, now I look back on that and I wish I could still be that, like an unknown YouTuber. Now I see that was the fucking bomb. And that was the best time of my life creatively. But at the time, I was working a regular job and stuff while I was doing it, and of course so by 2013 I was burnt out, and then I did the horseshoe thing, because I got this crazy idea in my head for this really elaborate thing, this huge thing that that wouldn't even make sense to anyone in the years hence, because it was so of its time and of its little niche, this thing that no one would ever even get, because it only fucking made sense to me. but that was a whole 2-year thing that I really dedicated myself to, and kind of creating that character and being that character all the time, like a fucking wrestler. That was a big thing that I did for a whole other 2 years, and that had consequences too. I mean, kind of getting stuck in that persona, or and then people, they take it too seriously, but then that becomes the perception of you, and then that becomes you, and then people put you in that box, when it was the whole fucking time it was just supposed to be like a funny thing, You know what I'm saying? You're just trying to perform and give people what they want and make them laugh, but after a while they start acting like they think that that's you, and they start judging you for it, for the thing that you're doing, because it makes them laugh. People are nuts. They don't I don't know how to explain it to them. I never could figure that out. I never could figure out how to fucking explain it to them. But it shouldn't have been my job to explain it to them. That was my whole point all along. I shouldn't have to explain it. People should just get it. God. But yeah, when that ended, when I had my big finale that I was so proud of, that I had worked so fucking hard on, like, I mean, the hardest I'd ever worked in anything in my life by far, and I was so proud of it, and that was my chance, you know, that was the perfect moment for me to take a break, a much needed break. But, you know, by then, because I had been doing the one thing for so long, I had so many built up ideas that I wanted to get to right away. So I jumped right back into content creation and tried to change my channel name and rebrand myself and start all over and have a lot of really great content coming out really consistently. And at the same time, you know, I met all these collaborators that I was really interested in working with and getting to know more as friends, and we were starting to you know, build something together that I really believed in and I really thought, you know, would turn out good. And so I didn't take that break. I just kept going, and I jumped right into both things at the same time. You know, the whole, all of my stuff and all the fucking the podcast group stuff. And then that went on for a number of years. And I mean, by that point, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I was fucking going crazy. Like it was killing me. So, you know, I had to take a step back from it, but like the thing is, for me, I cannot not create. You know, I can't not be an artist. It's just not an option for me. You know, I've seen like comments of people speculating about me. I always do, and I try not to care about them. But I hate that there's so many misconceptions and people who just don't know because they don't know about this fucking Patreon or whatever. They don't follow me that closely. But God, I saw this one guy comment one time. He was just like, "Oh, Jess doesn't want to be an artist anymore." And I'm like, geez, like, is that what people think? It's not that. I mean, as you all know, as my patrons know, you know that even during all this time, I've been consistent, you know, usually around 4 videos a month this whole time. And granted, you know, everything that I've been talking about changed some of that content. I mean, you still occasionally get the scripted videos and the highly edited videos. You know, whenever I was in a place long enough that I could set up my computer and work on those kind of videos, you know, whenever I wasn't, you know, living in a hotel or something, any time that I could be somewhere for more than a few weeks and actually, but that wasn't often. So the kind of content I made kind of changed. You know, there was a lot more skits, like just goofy characters stuff that I could film outside, like the Agent of Chaos video, which I'm very proud of, and there was just a lot of just more random stuff and less intricately edited stuff. There was a lot more Let's Plays, and I always worry that like too many Let's Plays or gaming videos. I don't know if they're still called Let's Plays, but again, I'm from an older generation of YouTubers. We called them Let's Plays. You probably just call them gaming videos or whatever. But like, I always feel like if there's too many of those kind of videos, me just playing games and commentating, people are going to get sick of them. And if you do, hey, I mean, I appreciate anything you've pledged so far. You don't have to, you never have to be here. I appreciate it regardless. if anything here is ever not to your liking, hey man, Godspeed, you know. So I never want to feel like the audience is getting bored or feels like there's too many of that kind of video from me. I mean, the reason that I have started shifting so much in the direction of doing so many of those is really because, not only because they're relatively easy and painless to make in a short time frame, but also they're fun. Like I really like doing them. I have fun doing them. I mean, if things had been different, God, I wish I had just pivoted into being like a Twitch streamer in 2013, and instead of going off in the fucking weird direction I went in, which just, I wish I had just fucking been a Twitch streamer back in the day and built a reputation that way. Because I like playing video games. I've always liked playing video games. You know, sometimes it's the simple, most obvious things that it's like, oh yeah, I've always loved that. Why don't I do more of that? You know. So I hope that you like the Let's Plays. I do make an effort. You know, every one that I do, I throw in the editor and I watch it back and I kind of cut it into highlights because I don't like to waste the viewer's time, and I want it to be as good and easy to watch as possible. So I cut out the boring parts and the parts that suck, you know. But if too many Let's Plays is not to your liking, and if it made you want to maybe unpledge over it, I mean, I totally understand. You know, I like making them, and the fact that they're easy to make has really saved my life over the last couple of years, because I wouldn't have been able to I wouldn't have been able to do this at all, to, you know, because I didn't always have access to the time to really edit anything, or, you know, half the time my main editing computer was in storage or in my trunk or something, you know. So anyways, that's where I've been. Mostly homeless these last couple of years. And that's why all the Let's Plays and all the silly skits. And I love doing the silly skits too. I mean, that's really, you know, I got so into you get so into the groove with a certain kind of content. And I sort of fell into the reviewer critic kind of thing, which is it's a medium that I love, don't get me wrong, but for a guy like me, doing too much of the same kind of thing for any length of time is going to start to feel like a box, and I'm going to want to do as much of other kind of shit as possible. Like, one of the things that I really love doing, and have always loved, is physical comedy. I love, you know, having my whole body in the frame and just kind of moving around silly, and, you know, I love using my whole body, and you don't get a lot of opportunity to do that as like a as like a reviewer kind of guy, because, you know, everything then is like above the chest shots, unless you do a lot of skits. And I did do a lot of skits for exactly that reason. And I did a lot of stunts too. I took a lot of pride in my stunts, the jumping through tables and the throwing my body around. I mean, it's probably why my shoulder, you know, makes that noise. So there's a price you pay for everything, but, you know, fuck, I love doing it. I love that kind of comedy, and I always want to do more of it. And I like doing characters, and I like doing just skits, and just, you know, just like comedy in general. That's not necessarily comedically dissecting a work of art, you know, that just comedy, that's just comedy about anything. So I really loved doing the Agent of Chaos video. I really love doing the Booze Quest videos where I'm just, you know, walking around in the woods or something and talking and stuff. Being able to do stuff like that, filming outside helped a lot when I didn't have a fucking place to live. And of course, having like another person there to film me as opposed to just a static tripod shot, which is how I had to do most of my early stuff. I mean, it's so much more dynamic and so much more fun to watch and to film. And when there's another person there holding the camera, and I have someone to perform for that I can see reacting in real time, it kind of helps me a lot. That's kind of, I draw power from it. I always wanted to be more of a stage comedian, and I always wanted to do more stand-up, and the few times I've done it were always really great. And, the few times I've been in front of a crowd, I really turn on, and I really am at my best when I'm surrounded by people reacting, or on stage with a microphone. I've never been able to do that as often as I wanted, because I've always been so invested into the video stuff, the YouTube video stuff, the reviews, this whole fucking shit, the podcasting, all that crap, So that's something that I have wanted to do more of and still want to do more of. And hopefully I will this year. And I love collaborating with I've always loved collaborating with other artists and other talented people and creatives and stuff. And I mean, that's kind of been like, that's me being the lamb getting led to slaughter, This my downfall every time, is wanting to collaborate with another YouTuber and get to know him and like make friends with someone and get to know someone and form some kind of working relationship with someone and try to collaborate. That it doesn't always work out for me so great, but it's not never worked out for me. It's not like I've never met people who I love collaborating with and who I made friends with, and that there were friendships that lasted. I mean, the first kind of crew that I had when I was just starting out, if anyone remembers them, the Broken Down Geeks, Johnny Old School, and the Cinemasochists, and the Examined Life of Gaming. We call him Aiden. Those were the first friends I've ever made online, and those guys are still my friends. I still talk to those guys all the time, and I would love, I always love, even now I always love I still do, like, occasionally I'll hop in on one of Pete's Twitch streams, and I love doing those, and I try to cut those into highlights. I hope you like those, because I love, that guy's one of my best friends. So I would love to collaborate more with them, and of course reaching out to my old IRL friends at Flint Rat and doing the few things I've done with them over the years. I mean, I kind of got pretty distant. What the fuck? Sorry, the cat's making noise over there. It threw me off again. I kind of got pretty distant over the years from like my IRL friends, as I got like sucked more into this all-consuming like YouTube world. It just kind of pulled me away from people. I didn't like that it was pulling me away, but it just, it happens gradually and insidiously. So at a certain point, I made an effort to start reaching back out to those friends and doing stuff, and that's been so rewarding. It's been really great. So I love doing Flint Rat stuff. Anytime, I'm back in Michigan, and I always make it a point. Yeah. Anytime I'm back in Michigan, I make it a point to hang out with those guys as much as possible and see if we can film something funny together. And we usually can. That's hey, get out of there. What are you doing? Get out of the fireplace. It's not a place for you. It's a place for fire, you fool. What else? And music, too. I mean, obviously, I love... I've had like a deep love for like poetry and rapping my entire life. This is my favorite like art form in the world, just about. And I've always wanted, I've always loved doing music and putting music in my videos and stuff. And whether I was making beats or rapping or just putting weird songs or song parodies in my reviews and freestyling my weird, insane freestyles, or doing like making dumb stuff back in the day like Reapers or Gagface. I've always loved making music, is my point, and I've always wanted to be able to invest more like time and focus into like the rapping and the music thing. I mean, I'm so embarrassed because years ago, I the fucking dumbest shit ever came out of my mouth. I said something like, I'm the greatest rapper who ever lived, which, don't get me wrong, is true. But I hate the fact that I said that, thinking that I would then go on to prove it. And then I ended up, getting pulled in so many different directions and never really investing any time to actually put out those albums. And I had all these crazy concepts. I still do for multiple albums with whole entire track lists that have been written over the years and just never properly recorded. I hate the fact that I made such a bold claim and then never followed up on it. So that's another thing that I really wanted to start putting focus on in the coming year and years hence. And I did at least get a couple done that have been, sort of gestating for a while. I mean, actually, the one I posted most recently, the water rap, what was it even called? Oh yeah, the King's Thirst song. That one was probably the quickest I've ever written a song and actually got it made and got it out. So that was actually kind of a good sign to me that I was able to make that one, and people liked it and thought it was cool. I still want to fucking, I still haven't posted it publicly because I'm such a perfectionist. I still want to go back and fix it and fix some things and master it better. But really, I just want to keep being as creative as possible, and hopefully you keep supporting me so that I can, just go off in as many directions. I'm a pretty free-form guy. I kind of let myself, I prefer to be able to do whatever I want and make whatever kind of weird stuff I want. And I have a really, I have a really great audience in the sense that the patrons at least by now know me well enough that you're not expecting the same kind of content over and over. You know that I am kind of eclectic in what I like to make and kind of random, I guess. That's kind of the problem with the public YouTube audience, is that whatever you make that someone likes and subscribes for, they expect you to only make that. And so if you're like me and you like to make all kinds of different stuff, then eventually it gets to where no matter what you put out, somebody's unhappy because it's not what they wanted from you. So that sucks. But again, that's why I like the patron audience so much. I mean, when I went Patreon exclusive for the most part years ago and started putting all my stuff just on Patreon and not kind of disappeared from YouTube, it wasn't, it wasn't a thing I did for money, to make more money. That's why I never shilled it or told anyone really or put it out there that I was doing this. It was a thing that I did for privacy. and to have some creative freedom again that was, less burdened by the expectations of so many. And, you know, uh, you know what I'm saying? Especially because after a while on YouTube, you pick up people who are just watching to see you fail. They just want to pick apart everything, and after a while, that makes it become no fun. When there's too many of that kind of person that latches onto you, it becomes not so fun anymore. So I really appreciate that from the audience that I have here, that you seem to get me in the sense that that I could post anything and it could be anything, and you never really know what it's going to be. But no matter what it is, I hope you know that I'm going to do my best to make it as good as possible. Whatever it is, it's going to be the best itself that I can possibly make it. And I hope you'll allow me to continue experimenting and continue placing trust in me that whatever I make, I will, I'll be doing my best to make it entertaining, regardless of what it may be. How fucking absurd it may be. I'm a man of many textures, a man of many selves. I'm a man of I can be it all. I can do and be it all, baby. That's why I'm the endless one. Hey, how you like that? You know what I'm saying? I got layers. There's many sides to me. If you think you've seen them all, you ain't. I'm the most three-dimensional man who ever fucking lived, baby. That's why I'm the righteous central protagonist of all reality. What? You didn't know that? You didn't know that I'm the main character of the universe? Yeah, fun fact about me. I'm actually the greatest and most important man who ever lived. It's a living. Whoa! What's up? Yeah, girl. Yeah. Scratching your spot. Scratching your spot. So, thanks for being open-minded. Ow. Come here, little fucker. So thanks for being so open-minded about the kind of content you see here. Thanks for all your continued support. I hope you continue to support. I hope you continue to find enjoyment in the silly stuff I do. And so, talking about that whole time, being homeless and shit, as you can see, no longer the case. Here in my killer digs, with my Christmas tree, and this is my place. Yeah, it's pretty fucking rad. It kicks ass. I never really had this before. So, being able to survive all that time on my art even if it was just, let's plays and stuff, and being able to get this place finally, and it's it's made me feel like I've gotten to a place where I can, start, because not only live better, but start to feel better, and kind of, I don't know, I was just kind of feeling better and feeling like maybe I'm ready to kind of make a little bit of a comeback and really put in some effort again. Now that I have like a real permanent base of operations again, in a lot of ways I felt like, thank God I can finally get back to work, like really get back to work and not get involved with the stupid stuff anymore, and not fall into the same traps, and not get involved with other people and other in groups and clubs and all that stuff that becomes such a fucking headache inevitably, and such a painful thing. Just like stay to myself and be to myself, and stick to my own stuff and my own audience, and build my own audience and foster a good audience, and just focus on like being a good artist again, without any of the stupid distractions, all the vanity, ego, social media, parasocial, group, podcasting, fucking disgusting shit, that whole culture, that whole like, kind of that whole e-personality culture. It's all just, stay away from that stuff this time, really just do it right this time, and I had all kinds of big videos planned, like scripted videos on topics I'm really passionate about, really wanted to make good, and I wanted to branch out even more, and make new, crazy channels, and invest time into them, and build new little audiences, and just fucking just be totally unchained and unfettered, and just just really exercising that creative spark full time, completely, full force again, because it's the first time I've been in a position to in a long time. First time I've been able to, not only just in terms of having the space and, the place to do it, but also mentally and emotionally being able to be psyched up enough to want to do it. So it took a long time to get to this place, but I got to this place, and I never would have if not for, everyone here, all you patrons. So this is a very important video that I felt like, just important stuff I felt like I needed to say to the audience, to my audience, because you've been so loyal and so kick-ass, and you've helped me out, and you've had my back when I had nothing, and even when I was at my lowest and I felt the crappiest and things were going the worst, you've been here, and I've had someone I could still entertain, which means the world to me. It really does. And so that's how I was feeling And that's why I wrote at the at the end of the last post that I did in December. That's why I wrote, I got big plans for 2022 because I did and I do. But man, sometimes life comes at you fast, hits you hard, out of nowhere. The RKO out of nowhere. The Garfield opens the door and the fucking pie goes splort in his face, and he goes, "Ah, crap! Is it Monday?" It's like a Twilight Zone. It's gonna be Monday. The forecast is all Mondays. Be like it'd be a great like a Garfield Twilight Zone. But it's like that. It's when life becomes like a Garfield Twilight Zone. Don't you fucking hate it when that happens? So, all the plans I had now they're kind of shaken up and they're up in the air, and I don't know, man. It's going to be just other shit I'm going to have to deal with now. And it's not stuff that I am looking forward to having to deal with. And it sucks. And it fucking blows. But, quitting entirely isn't an option for me. I gotta fucking pay the fucking bills here somehow. And besides that, if I can't create, I'll wither up and die anyways. The thing is, like when I was homeless, I actually felt better than I did before. Oh, did I even explain how I got homeless? I kind of went off on a huge tangent, totally forgot what I was saying. I lived with my mom and my sister for a long time, and it was fine at first. But that basement was just fucking gross. I mean, and it got grosser every year, and there was like leaky pipes and a leaky floor and the mold everywhere. It was bad. And living down there with no sunlight and being so sucked into the internet world, and I hate using the term mental health, but by the end, it was really fucking with me. That whole living situation and the flooding and all of it. It was getting to me. It was not good for me to be there for that long, especially in that fucking basement. So I had to get out of there, I knew. And, another part of the reason we were all together is because my sister was sick, but she was starting to get a little bit better. And it was kind of starting to feel like it might be time to, fucking enough of this. You know what I'm saying? And the landlord who we rented the place from, eventually, we always paid the rent on time. We never were late. But eventually the guy who we were renting from started thinking he wanted to sell the place. So he wanted to fix it up and sell it. So he gave us a notice. And so we basically got evicted so that he could sell the house, which is kind of shitty. And I don't know if that's morally okay, but that was, he just wanted to sell the house, so we got evicted. But, my mom downsized to a smaller place, and my sister was okay enough to try setting up her life, so I was kind of free, and I wasn't needed anymore, and I was needed elsewhere, because I had a chick waiting for me elsewhere. So I set out on my own without a plan, without a place of my own. Mostly to be with her, but fuck, man, just finding a place, getting someone to let us move in somewhere, with no credit to our name, no, you know, every place wants you to make like 4 times the rent. They just make it as impossible as they can. I mean, it's like, it's fucking hard to get a place. Even if you have money to pay rent every month, they make it as fucking convoluted as possible. And especially once the whole pandemic year started, and now suddenly you can't even go into an office of a place and like talk to anybody. Now everything's on the phone and everything's closed indefinitely, and it was, I mean, putting in applications everywhere, but mostly, again, had to live in hotels and did a lot of driving all around the country and living in my car, kind of. Fucking. What else? Whoa, cool. You know, play? Is that what this is? Damn, so fast. So proud of you. You're so fast. Oh, by the way, I should come here. Come here. I mean, you've probably heard of her on some Let's Plays. I mean, she's been talked about before in my videos, but I guess I haven't formally introduced. Formally? God, quit being a nuisance. Can I just fucking? I'm trying to do something sweet. Like I'm trying to make you look good here. You know? I'm trying to like. What the fuck? Anyways, that was Princess Poopy Butt. As you can see, she's a little moody little brat, but she's mine. She's my child, and damn it, I love her. My child. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those like that I think it's my child. But that's a fucking sweet cat. Okay? You don't even know. I'm telling you. It's the best cat there is. You know what? I found her. I mean, I didn't find her. My wife found her. Should I say wife? Jeez. It's none of your business, But anyways, this was during one of the years when I was homeless, and so we'd have to meet up in hotels a lot and stuff. And we were staying at this like this kind of like nature park, this like nature cabins park kind of thing. And there was like, you know, woods and forest and stuff. We like went out on a walk. We got high on mushrooms and went on a nature walk around this place. And man, it was cool. Right when the mushrooms started kicking in, we were on this bridge, and I saw this fucking snake hanging from the bridge, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god, yes!" I was so excited to see this fucking cool snake. And I was like trying to say, "It's a fucking snake," but like I was so excited I couldn't even say the words. I was like frothing at the mouth like a demented, like crazed lunatic because of the mushrooms. And I'm like trying to get the word out like, "It's a snake! It's a snake!" It was awesome.
Little snake! Shut up! Look at the snake! Look at it! Look at that fucking snake! God damn it! Look at him!
Oh, it's retreating. It's it does not fight this one.
That's a fucking snake! Yeah. Where'd the water go? I had a water bottle. Where did it
I
go?
picked it up because I'm responsible.
Give it to me.
I won't punch her.
There was a snake.
There's a beautiful snake. Did you get a picture of it though?
I'm taking a selfie video of me saying that.
You have to get a picture of it. Did you get an
I
actual
will get a picture
of
of us both in the front.
No, I don't want to be in the picture.
No, I mean me and the snake.
Then yeah, get a selfie of you and the snake.
I did. I tried. I gotta go up to where the snake is. Yeah.
Let's move in.
Oh fuck! It's gonna get me.
But anyways, as if the snake wasn't amazing enough, that little runt started following us. You know, we actually went back into the room, and I kind of passed out and took a nap, and then she went out and went on another walk. But then she came back with this cat. The cat followed her. She like made friends with this little like fucking kitten. And it was like kind of had like, it was a little run. It was like they had dwarfism and like couldn't really run good. It was like really skinny. It kind of like hopped like a rabbit, like its legs weren't all that strong or something. It came into the room and it was like instantly like really friendly to us. And like I was on the bed and she came up and just like started sleeping on me, like the first time she ever saw me. And she's got like kind of a, she's got like a tiny face, so her fucking nose isn't great. So like she doesn't breathe like really great. I mean, she doesn't have a breathing problem in the sense that she's not in danger, but she kind of honks because she can't breathe as good. She goes like, she just makes these like weird honking sounds sometimes. It's really cute. It's adorable. Look at me. Listen to me going on about my cat. What the fuck? I'm one of those guys now, I guess. It was always meant to happen. I mean, fuck. Look at the fucking pajama suit I'm wearing. Of course I'm a cat guy. No fucking dog guy wears this. Only a cat guy wears this getup. But yeah, we hit it off. Us and that cat. It was on like Kirk and Spock, and Bones, because there's three of us, me and her and the cat, Kirk and Spock and Bones. So even though I was homeless, now I had a cat because we met this cat and I just immediately totally fell in love with this cat. So for a while the cat had to stay at her mom's house because neither of us had a place. And it just stayed in her childhood room at the mom's house, like waiting for us to be able to find a place that she could fucking live with us, So that was part of this, is like, my God, finally a place where I can be with my fucking precious kitty, I can be with my cat, finally. And she had to fucking get in that carrying case so many times and go from hotel to hotel and get her litter box set up again and just have her, just a dumb animal. She doesn't understand what's going on, why she has to fucking move to a newer, crappier place every couple of fucking weeks, And if it ain't that, it's being cooped up at the mom's house in the childhood bedroom with no one there, all alone, with a fucking dog in the house that she didn't like and a bunch of other cats in the house she didn't like. That's the other thing about this. This cat is so weird. Like, she loves us so much. She hates cats. She hates other cats. She like patrols every day from one window to another, looking out to make sure there's no other cats. And when she sees other cats outside, she gets so fucking pissed off. You can't go next. You can't touch her. She'll scratch at. She'll like flip out. Like, don't fucking touch me, motherfucker. There's cats out there. Can't you see? She just wants to kill every other cat. I don't know. I think she was like bullied by the other cats or something when she was a little defenseless kitten with weak legs. She must have been, treated like the runt and kicked around. She loves us, but she hates other cats. I mean, she hates any fucking animal. She wants to kill everything, but that's most cats. What is this now? This is now just me. This is not just cat talk. This is not just man talks about cat. Man gushes about cat. That's what we've come to. That's what this is now. I said everything I needed to say, I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I've said. If I said it all, have I made any kind of fucking sense, or I don't know. Just wanted like a nice patron's message or something, considering that, you know, I've wanted to explain a lot of this stuff for a long time, is the thing, but again, I had to get to a place where I even felt okay about maybe I could try to make a comeback. And so I had to get to that place first, and then I got to that place. But then now, suddenly, you know, life throws surprises. And so now I kind of feel crappy again. And I don't know about all those plans I had, but I know that you guys are loyal enough that, you know, whatever happens, that you appreciate the effort I put in to give you something. And that's been made clear because you've been so loyal over the last couple of years. And it without you, you know, without you, I wouldn't, you know, I'd be fucking, I don't know what the fuck I'd be doing. So, the fact that you all appreciate me so much means I really appreciate all of you, like, for real, serious. This isn't like, you know, this isn't the funny haha character, you know, this isn't endless jest. This isn't, you know, hate the audience and I'm the best, I'm the coolest guy ever and everyone sucks but me. Everyone's an idiot. I mean, that stuff is true, but this isn't that guy. This is me. This is the real fucking guy here, okay? And I'm saying thank you for everything, because it, you know, do I gotta just repeat myself here? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? This is difficult for me. I've never done this before. Not really. Oh, God. I've never felt simultaneously okay enough and crappy enough at the same time to be this guy, to be myself, to be this real mood, the you know, to talk this fucking, you know what I'm saying? To talk like this to you people. Is there anything else I want to fucking say about Patreon? I don't know. I've been meaning for a long time to like switch up the reward tiers. I mean, I've come up with some newer ones, some better ones that'll also be easier to deliver on, and maybe rearranging the order of some of the current ones. I don't know. I haven't really figured out what I want to do, but that's something that I want to do, is come up with some good new reward tiers for people to, you know, to maybe want to pledge higher or something, because, you know, like, of course I want to make more, but I want to do it, I want to make sure that I can make more my way, which is not by being desperate or resorting to, like, you know, typical e-celeb social media shilling, begging, you know, attention-seeking bullshit. You know, I want, of course I want to make more, but I want to do it in a way that has integrity, you know, that holds up to my rigid values, you know, that is in line with my philosophies. Because a lot of times I felt like my own voice and my own philosophies and my own actual belief and beliefs and ways of wanting to do things were kind of, you know, they were there, but they were drowned out by everything that was surrounding me and doing it a way that I didn't like doing it. And I'm way better off on my own, getting to do it, being able to do it my way. So, you know, I wanted to, at some point, make a video and, you know, just talking more honestly about stuff, you know? You know, because a part of me likes being mysterious, but a part of me also, it also causes problems. It is own, you know, it has its own, my sort of wall that I put up between me and the audience or the world is, it's how I have to do it, you know, but there's pros and cons to it, to doing it my way. I don't always feel as understood as I'd like to be. Because I don't do this as often, if at all, really. But I'm trying to be a new kind of creator. I'm trying to be a better, more complete kind of creator and a more evolved kind of creator, you know? I'm grown. And I want that to be reflected in the art that I make. And so this is kind of a first step to that, I guess. What else? Oh yeah, I guess goals also. I had a $1,000 goal that very briefly I had met and was over it, and I was like, whoa, and that was awesome. I felt like I was making, I felt comfortable, you know. With that, I felt secure, and it was a good feeling. But you know, it dipped back down to around like 750, which is still okay, but you know, it's gonna dip. I don't blame, like I said before, I don't blame anyone, but you know, I'd love to be able to reach that $1,000 goal again. That would, you know, help make me feel a lot more secure and okay again. But I don't want to just be asking for that. I want to be worth it, you know. So I really want to make content that's worth that to you. And I guess I'll come up with goals beyond that if I think it's fucking possible that, you know, if I don't know what would be the next goal. If it would be, I guess, 1,500. I mean, fuck. If it were at 1,500, I would feel like a wealthy man. I would feel great. But enough of this. I don't like talking like that. I don't like even saying that. It feels, because it's not about the money to me. It's not, never has been and never will be. But I mean, money's a reality of the world that we live in. So, yeah. I just want to make it worth your while. You know, whatever you pledge, whatever you are pledging or have been pledging, or your support is 1,000,000% appreciated. Oh God, my legs, my ass. How long have I been sitting here? Fuck. Oh, my fucking body bones. Ah. Oh. Ugh. Oh. My God. Oh. Oh. Oh, I gotta fucking piss. Well, all right. I guess if there's anything else I want to say that I haven't said by now, I can just fucking add it in the write-up. That's the other thing. Yeah, that's okay. Last thing I wanted to say: the write-ups. The thank you so much for the response that I get to the write-ups. That means so much to me. The fact that people like them, the fact that there's, you know, a couple of them that didn't even have like a video attached, because I know that like I'm known as a video guy, and so I always feel like if there's not a video that it's gonna be underwhelming for people. But and again, like I said before, I make so many different kinds of things. I always feel like no matter what I put out, someone in my audience, it's not going to be what they wanted me to put out. So my way of dealing with that in a way that I feel like everybody can get what they want and be entertained to some degree is I put a lot of effort into the text posts. and I write much longer text posts than anybody on Patreon, and I pack as much into there for people to read that I hope is entertaining or funny as I possibly can. And there's been a couple times when I couldn't get a video done, and so all I could do was rely on my writing and my text posts, and I would do like a text review of like a movie, or and putting those out and feeling like, oh God, I'm supposed to be a video guy. People want me to be a video guy. They're going to hate me for this. They're going to see that there's no video on this, and they're going to unpledge. But then posting it and then seeing that it still gets the likes and the positive comments and the positive feedback. Like, people still like it and appreciate it, which tells me that I've done my job and that I've written something that's good and funny and entertaining, because I take pride in my writing just about above all else. I take pride in everything I do. But, writing is a fundamental part of everything I do. Except for when I'm not writing, except for when I'm just riffing and going off the cuff, which I'm doing now, which is a different thing. Whatever the fuck I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? God, I'm just fucking saying what I'm saying, It means a lot that people like my text posts, is all I'm trying to say. Thank you for that as well. It's kind of one of the many, kind of dreams I have. Many crazy, wild, pie-in-the-sky dreams I have, is to be able to be like a writer, like a professional paid writer. And I guess I am. I don't know what I mean by it's a dream to be, when I get paid for writing, but I don't know, like a novelist or something, That's always been an aspiration of mine. So it is being able to write a book or something. I don't know. So the fact that my writing goes over well with you guys makes me feel like I'm on the right path, and that I could, that dream is still feasibly something I can do and is still in reach, and getting more in reach, because, the more you write, the better you get. And I've been writing for a very long time, and not to toot my own horn, but I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm really fucking good. And I hope to continue to get better. And it's really cool that you afford me that opportunity by supporting me in my written stuff as well as my video stuff. Am I moving my hands around too much? Do I look like am I doing like a Jack Sparrow thing here? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm saying. Whoa. All right. Well, my ass is fucking, my bones and my hips are turning into like peanut brittle. I'm gonna try to stand up, and I'm gonna fucking fall apart. How silly is this outfit? I kind of love that I did this, that I did the whole this dressed like this. Somehow it seems fitting. I don't know how, but somehow it works, I think, in my mind's eye. For all I know, I might watch this back and think, oh God, why am I wearing that? I look like an idiot. Well, we'll see. All right, enough. I gotta go take a piss. Poopy, you want to get in the shot again one more time? Say goodbye to the people, the invisible people, the thing that you have no comprehension of what is happening right now. You just think that I'm staring into nothing and making sounds for no reason. I'm talking to myself. She's sitting there like perched on the couch, looking down at me like I'm just the stupidest idiot creature she's ever seen. Like, what is he doing? Hey, it's no different than when you fucking sit at the window and fucking moan and hiss and groan at all the other passing cats, all right? You do weird shit. This fucking cat will fucking sit and watch TV. I'll put fucking birds and squirrels on the screen and she'll sit there and watch TV like a person. Like fucking Garfield, man. She's the second most like Garfield person in this house. And guess who the first one is? It ain't the woman. Let me give you a hint. He's got 2 thumbs. It's fucking this guy. Lasagna. I don't like Mondays. Well, alright. That's enough of this. Whatever this is. I'm done. I'm sick of it. I hope I've said everything I needed to say. Because that's all I got to fucking say about that shit. Bang bang! Oh, God! My fucking body bones! Oh! Fuck! Oh! 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 Ah! Oh, God! I gotta fucking piss! Ooh, piss. Piss!